Hey guys, Aaron Goldstein here, and I just want to make this video talking about how to start a business. And the reason I'm making this video is there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to think about when starting a business. And I've started a few businesses, and I have a couple going now. And there's kind of a pattern to them, and there's just things that you need to think about. And I just kind of want to go over all of them. Last year I opened up a detail shop where it wasn't me, but we had a bunch of people that detailed cars. We did window tinting and PDR work. I also started a kiosk at the mall last year. Almost started a restaurant. And there are, there's a lot of pros to owning a business. Obviously, the first one is when you own a business, you're the boss, and you also make all the money. Now, as a business owner, you get paid last. All the bills get paid, all the employees get paid, all the employees get paid. Taxes, rent, if in a brick and mortar traditional business, products get ordered. You, as the owner, get paid last. But when you have a successful business, it runs on autopilot, if you set it up that way. And at the end, once all the expenses are paid, lots of money is left over. And as the owner, you get all the money. That is one of the fantastic things about starting a business. And then on top of that, you're in control. You don't have a boss. It's very, very nice to be able to, just dictate what goes on, when you're the boss. Especially because I remember when I used to have jobs, some of the jobs I would do more than the boss. So I was like, all right, I'll just go open up my own business, do what I know should be getting done, and then make the money. And then that's kind of, what has happened. Now, lots of things to think about when starting a business. The first thing is, first of all, the first couple things are you need to make sure you have your legal side and your tax side taken care of. So if you want to start a business, you need to get a lawyer, and you need to get an accountant, somebody to do your taxes for you. You need to sit down with each of those people, call them on the phone and talk to them, tell them what you're doing and get advice from them. You need to make sure you pay taxes, and you need to make sure you are covered legally. The great thing is you are leveraging the knowledge of the accountant and the lawyer, so you don't have to do any of it, yourself. There's a lot of legal things, and the lawyer will get you aware of some of those things. Some of them are very important. You got to think about things as what happens if somebody sues you. You want to be protected, right? Let's say you own a house. Let's say you own a car. Let's say you have money in your checking account. If somebody sues you, you don't want those people to become able to come after your personal assets, right? Stuff that you own. And if you don't protect yourself, they can. Somebody could sue you, and in the worst case scenario, that person could, if you own a home, they could come and take that home as payment for them winning the lawsuit. So you need to make sure you have those things covered, and getting a lawyer will protect you. Now also, what you want to do is you want to interview different people. So I would recommend talking to at least 3 lawyers and 3 accountants. Business lawyers and business accountants. Some lawyers don't know what they're talking about, so you kind of got to go into it like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm going to listen, I'm going to hear, I'm going to pay attention to what these people are saying, and then I'm going to determine if they sound like they know what they're talking about or they don't. I remember when, it was just last year where I needed a lawyer for something very important, and I went to one lawyer. I went to 3 lawyers in 2 days. And I went to one lawyer, he didn't know what he was talking about. Well, actually, I didn't. I knew he kind of didn't know, and he wasn't saying the stuff that made sense. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go find another lawyer. Found another lawyer, and then it was a 3rd lawyer that we worked with. And boom, paid the money, got the thing moving right away. So do both those things. The next few things is you need to think about are, you got to have capital, right? You need to put a business plan together. And the reason the business plan is important is you need to know all the details. Are you renting a space? Are you signing a lease? Are you going to need products? Are you hiring employees? You're going to do it yourself. Do you need equipment? These are all things that go into the equation. You should have, at least 3 months of, income to run your business. Prefer, to be honest, you're going to want 6 months. So if your business is $10,000 to get started and $2,000 a month to run it, you're going to be wanting to have $24,000 in cash in an account somewhere to where if your business is up and running, you can take money out for it. I remember when we started the detail shop, pretty quick profit, but, the first month or so, we were still paying out of pocket. Then we broke even, the next month. And then it was like the month later we started having profits. And then I was like 6 months from there. From when we started, I was making like 2-3 grand a week because that's how much was left at the end. I would get to the business around 11 o'clock. I'd leave at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It was all running. And, at the end of the week, everyone got paid out. And then I made sure I had enough in my checking account to cover expenses for at least a month. And then after that, I wrote myself a big fat check and cashed that sucker. So that's kind of how that works. If you have employees always try to steal. So you need to make sure you have, you got to make sure you have security, checks and balances, things to make sure people don't steal. Cameras is a good idea. Having a lot of things done electronically is a good idea. And just kind of having a checks and balance for whatever it is you're doing. Obviously, if you're doing it yourself, you don't have to worry about that. However, a true business runs independent of the owner. McDonald's is a true business because the owner can step back and go on vacation for a month, and there's all these systems in place to where people get the job done and they don't need the owner. In a real business, you can step back. If you can't step back and have it run on autopilot, then you're like a slave to the business. The business isn't working for you. So having employees is definitely something that you're going to want, either if it's not right away, if you don't have the capital, the funds, whatever. You're going to need, eventually you want to always be thinking about how can I autopilot? How can I leverage other people's time? Because you get different systems in place. You have 10 employees working for you. Let's say those 10 employees are working 40 hours a week. You're getting 400 hours of work a week that you're not putting into it that those people are going to use to benefit your business. And, there's only 168 hours in a week, so 400 hours of work going for your business is something you can't achieve with just you. You need to hire other people. Something else to think about. Something else to think about, comma, new sentence. Now, something else to think about is, do you want to start a franchise or do you want to start your own business? I recommend starting a franchise unless you really, really know what you're talking about. Maybe you've been in the guy I opened up a detail shop with. He was a detailer for like 25 years. He was a manager. He knew what he was talking about. I helped finance it. He ran it. It worked out well because he knew what he was doing. If you're starting a business and you don't know anything, then it might about the specific niche. And I don't want to say if you don't know anything. If you haven't mastered it, which takes, at least, I'd say at least 3, 4, 5 years of planning, doing, checking, and adjusting, and really getting a feel for how everything works, then it might be better to open up a franchise. The benefit of having a franchise is there's no guesswork, right? Franchises have a really high success rate when you do it right because you find a successful franchise like McDonald's. When you open up a McDonald's, you have to guess where you're going to get the meat from, where you're going to get the buns from, what the logo is going to be, what kind of couches you're going to get, where you're going to get the flyer, the systems used to make sure employees don't steal, how many employees you need, at what time, how high to cut the window for the drive-through window, what soda machine to get, what's the best color scheme that makes people want to buy, all things like that. The colors red and yellow combined have a tendency to make people want to buy. That's one of the reasons I believe McDonald's has red and yellow as their color scheme. Those two colors combined make people want to buy. If you ever buy any products online, any of these different products that are out there, a lot of times you'll see the button that says that you can buy will say click here to buy now. It will be red with a yellow outline. Pay attention for that. That is because those colors combined, just influence people and get them to want to buy and spend money more. That's that's just a little psychological thing to know. But McDonald's has done all the research, so you open up a McDonald's, you don't have to figure any of that out. The learning curve is a lot faster. There's a lot higher percentage chance that you're going to be successful. And that's why I enjoy the business that I have online. I have a business online now because owning these other businesses was a lot of headache, a lot of work, a lot of overhead, the employees stealing, all these different things. And when I have an online business now, and it's great. The great thing about going online is you're always going to find people that have money online to spend at your business. And then online, you don't have to worry about a lot of the headache that comes from a brick and mortar, did I say that right? Mortar business. go online, you're not signing a big lease. You don't have to. It's typically a lot cheaper if you can find like a franchise online, which is what I found. And if you're just looking to start a business, just because franchise online is the perfect business to start. Very low overhead, if any. You don't have to worry about signing a lease and having signing a lease for 4 years and worrying about what happens if you have to cancel the lease. Got a lot less risk, a lot easier, a lot less of a headache. And because it's online, there's a lot of systems that you can use online. And then online, you're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're an online business, how often are people online? All the time. And who's online? Everybody. Over 1 billion people have Facebook, right? Everybody is online. And it's cool because you can have people come to your business and buy what you have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think it was about a month ago, I forget the exact date, I made $1,550 while I was sleeping. Why is that? That's because somebody found this business that I was a part of online. They bought some of my products while I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I made $1,550. That's not how much I sold. That's how much I made. That's the net amount. That's how much was going in my pocket. Online franchises are a fantastic way to make money and to grow a successful business, and I feel that there's a lot higher chance of that happening. Now, if you have a business in mind, great, go for it. If you're just looking up different ways to, how to start a business because you're thinking about starting a business, I recommend you take my advice and look into what I'm doing. The reason for that is I made lots of money last year, but I also opened up a couple other businesses and I lost around $42,000 last year. Now, I still did all right last year, but I still had a big loss, and I learned that I wanted to find something easy that was a business that I could make a lot of money on that was, online. Because the cool thing about an online business is you can, do it anywhere in the world as long as you have a computer and internet. It gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom at the same time. I got a buddy of mine that is in the same business I'm in, and makes about $5,000 a week, and he moved to Costa Rica for it was 6 or 8 months. And just because it was an online business, everything was online. He just took his laptop, he went to Costa Rica. He said, "Yeah, I wanted to be by the beach and just kind of live on a resort for, the 6, 7, 8 months he was there." And he was like, "So this is what I did." And now I want to move to Miami. Now he lives on Miami on one of the main strips. That's kind of in Miami. So, it's kind of cool when you have an online business because you're really flexible. I couldn't do that with a detail shop. I couldn't go to, even though it was on autopilot, a decent amount, I still couldn't go to Costa Rica for 8 months and have that business grow. I had to be there. So, if you are curious, if you want to get more information on the business I'm a part of, and, the great thing is it's a franchise, so you can become a part of the business and, basically do what I do. If that's something you're interested in getting more information on, I have a link right below this video. So if you look below this video in the About section, so if you look below this video, there's a tab that says About. Underneath that tab, there's something that says Click Here. And then there's a link. The link's like residualincomeonlinenow.com, I believe. If you click that link, you can get all the information on the business that I'm a part of. You'll get a complete breakdown of how everything works and how you can use it to, open up your own business, open it up online, and use the franchise model to where you don't have to figure out everything yourself. You just have to follow the system that works, and by doing that, you cut off the learning curve and you can start making a lot of money quicker than if you were to open up your own business, typically right out of the blue. So go ahead and click the link below this video now, get that information, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so if you look below this video, in the About section, you'll see the link www.residualincomeonlinenow.com. Go ahead and click that link, and I'll see you on the other side.